Absolutely. Here's your condensed. Cinematic. American-style YouTube voiceover script. 12001-350 words. With a tight, dramatic 3-act structure. Fast hook. Natural dialogue. And a powerful call to action at the end. All details are woven for maximum authenticity. Emotional punch. And watch time. You ever wake up one morning and realize the world's gone completely nuts? I'm talking about the kind of crazy where you come home to your peaceful lakeside cabin and find a bunch of strangers in matching polos running a toll booth on your driveway. No, I'm not kidding. This is the story of how my family's cabin nearly got stolen out from under me by the HOA and how I turned the tables so hard. They're probably still spinning. Let me back up a second. See, I've always believed there's places on this earth that just fit you. Heartwood Cabin was mine. My granddad built it in the wilds of Oregon with nothing but stubbornness and a hammer. Long before anybody thought to slap Homeowners Association on a fancy brochure. 12 acres of woods. One crooked dock. 0 neighbors for years. That cabin? It's not just land. It's my anchor. I'm Daniel. By the way, architect in Portland. But up here? Just a guy who knows which trees creak in the wind and which steps on the porch squeak. I spent every weekend at Heartwood. Mornings meant mist on the lake and strong black coffee. Nights were for campfires, cold beer, and stories that got taller the later it got. Then everything changed. Some big shot developer built Clearwater Vista across the water, identical houses. Perfect lawns. A board of people who think they run the universe. At first, it was just a bunch of paddleboarders getting too close. Maybe some loud parties. I figured, whatever. Let them have their fun. Boy, was I wrong. One Saturday, I get this official-sounding knock. 3 guys in Clearwater Vista security shirts stand on my porch, acting like they're the FBI. Clipboard guy says, "We're here for your property inspection." Sir, I nearly spit my coffee. My property. Not your property. Not your rules. He goes, "For safety and visual compliance, you border the district." I cut him off. "You're trespassing. Get off my land." They left. But not before giving me that look. You know, the look that says, "We'll be back." And they were. The very next week. I come up to the cabin, and there's this bright yellow notice duct taped to my door. Not even official. Just some nonsense about fire hazards and unsafe stairs. Not a single real signature. Just scribbles. But that's not what got me. I spotted fresh footprints in the gravel and a cigarette but smoldering by my deck. Out here, fire risk is no joke. Granddad would have raised hell. So I called Carla, my lawyer. She's got a smile like a poker shark and the bite to match. Showed her the pictures. She goes, "Document everything. Daniel, this isn't just annoying. This is fraud. Let's build a case." You'd think they'd back off, right? Nope. They just doubled down. That week I got a voicemail. "This is Lisa from Clearwater Vista. We need your cooperation for a compliance inspection. Failure to respond will be handled according to community guidelines." Community guidelines. Huh? Out here. My only neighbors are deer and the odd coyote. But okay. If they wanted to fight. I was done playing nice. Next Saturday, I roll up and see my gate's been cut clean through. My jaw drops. 2 blue tents set up on my lawn. And there's those same HOA security guys, sitting around like they're on vacation. Clipboard guy stands up. Smooth as butter. Afternoon. "Mr. Foster, we're here for neighborhood safety assurance." "On my property?" I say, holding back a laugh. He gives me that blank look again. "Technically, This is part of the shared greenbelt. My land, not your greenbelt. I snap. If you have an issue, file a complaint. The nerve. I called the sheriff. Showed him every deed. Every photo. Even my trail cam footage. The deputy just shrugs. Says it's a civil matter unless I can get a court order. Great. That was my tipping point. I stopped getting mad and started getting smart. Carla brought in Pete, private investigator. Ex-county clerk. Not a man to be fooled. Within days, Pete had pulled HOA flyers, internal maps, even a PowerPoint from their sales team, all showing my dock and my land as future community amenities. The HOA had even tried sneaking a boundary change through the county. Never approved. Never legal, but enough to fool some new home buyers. And get these, a neighbor of mine, old Miss Evelyn, tells me she got a similar inspection notice. Turns out, they tried to mow her wildflowers because they didn't meet HOA standards. That's when I realized this wasn't just about me. These people were targeting anyone outside their club. The final straw? I pull up to Heartwood one Friday night, and there's two massive concrete blocks across my driveway. A shiny pole bolted between them, and a sign that says, Clearwater Vista, entry members only. Vehicle fee, $20. Down by my dock. The same security guys are collecting cash from strangers unloading kayaks. It was like they thought they owned the place. So I did what any red-blooded American would do. I fired up Granddad's old John Deere, rolled up to that barrier, and plowed through. The concrete cracked. The sign went flying. I hooked a chain around it, dragged the whole mess down to the lake, and dropped it in with a splash that must have echoed all the way back to their HOA meetings. The look on those guys' faces, worth every minute. Did I stop there? Not a chance. Next morning, a police report lands in my inbox. The HOA's accusing me of property destruction, endangerment. You name it. Carla just laughs. Their move. Now it's ours. We filed a civil lawsuit, trespass, harassment, fraud, property damage, the whole 9 yards. Evidence. We had it all. Drone footage, GPS maps, voice recordings, even their own marketing with my boathouse labeled Future Community Shoreline. The judge, old school, didn't miss a thing. He leans in during the hearing and asks, was dragging the sign into the lake really necessary? Mr. Foster? I just looked at him and said, Your Honor, it was either that, or I mail it to their president piece by piece. He just cracked a grin. Fair enough. Turns out, the HOA never had any legal claim on my land. Never. One board member admitted under oath they knew it, but went ahead anyway. That's not a mix-up. That's fraud. The verdict? $500,000 in damages. Legal fees. Emotional distress. And best of Allen, order banning the HOA from ever claiming authority over my land. Their president? Barred from any board. Statewide. And every Clearwater Vista resident got a thick envelope, a printed apology so awkward. My neighbor framed it. The day they took down that fake checkpoint. It felt like summer came back. But the real cherry on top? About a month later. I'm grilling with friends. Lake Coma's glass. And here comes a fancy pontoon boat with the HOA flag. Some guy in khakis waves. Hey, Mr. Foster. Mind if we dock for a quick swim? I grabbed my megaphone, grinned, and called out. Only if you yell, long live private property, and pay a $500. 000 parking fee. The whole deck was howling. The boat turned around. Peace at last. But let's be real, where's the line between community and straight-up overreach? If this happened to you, would you fight back? Or just move on? Drop your thoughts down below. Who's right? Who's wrong? Where's the line on community control? Smash that like if you believe in standing up for what's yours. Share this story if you know someone fighting their own HOA headache. And don't forget to subscribe for more wild true tales. Let's hear your stories. What would you do?